Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
The person that's dealt with some people in the industry, I can personally tell you, most of them are bullshit. Most of them got something going on and they're crazy, and they will have you. I'm talking about they'll have you crazy.
Yeah, you look professional, bro. You look real professional. Case, like Slim said, it's the beginning, man. We're gonna see more. It's gonna unfold, and
that mean I'm doing my job.
Hey. If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're gonna keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm your host with the most for the night, Gray Mars.
I'm Mia.
I'm Shadow Band Man.
I'm Enzo.
Well, since it's like I'm the only Democrat in here tonight, I actually had some good videos for y'all. Something I kept seeing, like conservative share on X. Is it gonna let me so it's Maxine Waters. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Oh, Jesus.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot, nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you gonna say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
So Enzo, you always talk about the hypocrisy on the left. So do you feel like that was hypocrisy from her, or do you feel like she was just being a politician?
Straight up hypocrisy, because she knows exactly what's going on.
He was on the ground. There's plenty of videos of her going to whatever federal building that was. I'm exercising my congressional rights, and they slammed the door in her face. All this shit was boarded up. If it was boarded up, no, if it was peaceful, why is everything boarded up? And we're talking about Maxine Waters, who's been in office since 91. What happened in 92? The Great Riots of 92. Were those peaceful too, Miss Waters? So, yeah, this is just straight hypocrisy. They're just trying to fit their narrative, like I keep saying, and saying, oh, well, these people are just exercising their First Amendment rights by setting a cop car on fire and throwing rocks at ICE vehicles, but it's peaceful because no one has died yet. But federal agents have been attacked. Make it make sense to me.
Come on, what do you think? And you live over there, so I mean, like, have you seen anything? Like, what do you think?
Hell no, the Mexicans ain't rioting over in San Diego. They over here barbecuing and shit. I know, I've been walking outside. They chilling, playing their music. That's like in a certain part of LA where they rioting and stuff like that. You feel me? Second of all, man, god damn that coon Denise that Maxine Waters be speaking, man, so fluently. God damn, dude. Like, she caping more for illegal immigrants. I'm tired of saying that. I gotta keep saying it's illegal immigrants. It's not immigrants. People keep saying, oh, it's immigrants, man. Mexicans, bro, why y'all don't want them here? No, illegal immigrants. We keep saying illegal immigrants. And Maxine Waters, man, I don't know what's caping more. Her damn wig. God damn. This is like, I'm just tired of these goddamn black politicians, from her to Isaiah Bryan to the rest of the coon caucus, out here caping for illegal immigrants. God damn, I'm about to look it. At this point, man, we got to get them the hell out of there. All of them. Get them out of there. See who they caping for? This don't make no goddamn sense. And she got the damn door slammed in her face, looking all goofy. Her goddamn wig in another time zone. It's just, I'm just sick of it, man. Goddamn, man. Like, great, man. You got some explaining to do, man. Why they spend getting that goddamn sample knees so goddamn much, man? Jesus Christ.
I feel you. Nor, did you see the video?
Yeah, I did. It was a heck of a night for skeptics to leave you alone. But I think that I've been saying this. The Democrats are living in Delulu land, fantasy world. They're not living in reality with anything in 2025. For her to sit there and say that there was absolutely no violence to me is wild.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy, and then like when politicians say stuff like this, that just makes it kind of hard to defend them, because like all over X, everybody is sharing this video on the right. You can say, "Hey, some things happen," and people will forgive you. You don't have to like just blatantly just say, "Hey, it's not happening," because that's what makes you lose credibility. So that's my take on that. But this was something like super interesting that I think you guys should see, and I want to know what you guys thought about this. This is Harry Itten on CNN, and he does a lot of like the polls on like what voters are thinking.
Start off on the fact that immigrant citizens, immigrant voters, foreign-born voters have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to or trust more in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats, more so than any other group that I could find. The group of voters who became more hawkish on immigration were in fact immigrants themselves, immigrants who are registered to vote in this country.
So that's on that issue. How about how they feel about kind of traditionally, historically about Donald Trump?
Yeah, so you see this shift and you go, what is going on underneath the hood? Well, take a look, Donald Trump. You remember when he first ran back in 2016. Immigrant voters were one of his weakest spots. But look at this. Trump's vote share in presidential election among, again, immigrant citizens, those who are registered to vote. Look at this. In 2016, he got 36% of the vote. You go to 2020, 39% of the vote. Look at this. In 2024, all the way up to 47% of the vote. Some polls I looked at had him barely losing that vote. Some polls I looked at had him barely winning that vote. Again, there is no block of voters that shifted more to the right from 2020 to 2024 than immigrant voters. And Donald Trump, at least in some surveys, actually won that vote. On average, it's about equal. So there may be all this stuff, right, about undocumented immigrants and Trump being harsh on them, but immigrant voters themselves have increasingly liked Donald Trump and have increasingly moved to the right on immigration into the Republican camp.
Well, then on that, what you're getting at, how immigrant citizens, voters, feel about people in the country illegally.
Yeah, and this is where it all kind of comes together, Kate Baldwin. Look at this. The net favorable rating, immigrants who are here illegally, among immigrant citizens, again, those registered to vote. In 2020, look at this, plus 23 points on the net favorable rating. But look at where we were in 2024, minus 6 points, underwater. So immigrant citizens have become increasingly unfavorable in their views of those immigrants who are here illegally. So I think it's so important when we're talking about this debate from a political angle to separate those out who are undocumented immigrants versus those who are here legally and those who are citizens and those who are voters, because that group of voters has felt increasingly distant from those immigrants who are here legally. And so again, when we're talking about this, at least from a political angle, this is why Donald Trump feels so comfortable, because in fact, amongst the group that you would think that would be most opposed to this, in fact, they become increasingly favorable, not just towards Donald Trump, but towards a Republican point of view on immigration and becoming distant from those immigrants who are here illegally.
Yeah, an important baseline to consider as this plays out.
Yeah.
Nora, as a child of immigrants, why are immigrants shifting to the right?
I mean, because the gaslighting by the Democrats is real. You're told the immigrants support these illegal immigrants. Let me tell you something as a child of immigrants. Between all my family members, they spent over $100,000 on attorneys to be here legally. Only one of my family members got deported. So let me tell you, play the game, you get to stay. Play the rules, you get to stay. You don't play the game, you break the law, you got to go bye-bye. And I will tell you this, my uncle who got deported, you know what he says to me? I deserved it. I needed to go. The United States government deported me because I broke the law, and I'm not mad at them. If you do and I've had all sorts of family members that have arrest records, and they've never gotten deported because they went, they got an attorney, they showed up to court, they played the game, they played the rules. Now, I have an issue with the Mexican immigrants because they think they have supremacy. They think they don't have to follow the rules. And we as Americans and we as immigrants, we need to fall in line and support them. No, it don't happen like that. And I'm highly offended that I'm being told as a child of immigrants that I need to support this lawlessness. And I think it's racist. It's offensive. It's like telling me because you're an immigrant, you need to support this. And it's not true. And I will tell you, most immigrants don't support this because they're highly offended because they played by the rules. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and they had to fight to stay. Why should someone that hopped the border get to stay and not have to do a damn thing? And why should white people that have been in this country or foundation Black people support that? They've been in this country for generations. Why should they support someone hopping the fence when it's just not right? We need to know who's in this country. It's that simple.
Mia, you've been talking about the deportations a lot. So what's your thoughts on why someone will basically get the benefit of something, but then they don't want the benefit to be for somebody else?
I mean, more or less, it is, we have a collective group of people that specifically feel entitled to the work of others. I'm sorry, but the Hispanic community feels entitled to the work of specifically the Black community. Last week, it was Black fatigue, and this week, Black and brown people have to come together. So you only want to come together when it benefits you. You want to use Black women and our struggle and our hard work and our civil rights. The Hispanics weren't there with us. The Asians weren't there with us. The Natives were not there with us during the civil rights movement back in the 60s. And we did that peacefully. 1 million man march peacefully. Not a single cop was hurt or anything like that. And they feel entitled to us and our labor. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You're here illegally. Get the fuck out. You've been here 25 years. You've given birth 4 times in an American hospital. You have a $1,200 iPhone in your pocket. And for the last 4 years, you couldn't have downloaded that app that Biden and Kamala did so you can stay here and file one I-589 form. Get the fuck out of here. See you later.
Kamal, Mr. Pro-Black. So do you feel like immigration hurts the Black community?
And first of all, man, the illegal immigrants got the ladies mad on the panel. God damn. The illegal immigrants out here. God damn.
Told you we were crashing out, man. We're crashing out.
No, we're playing.
Woo! Second of all, shout out to the chat. I see y'all. You feel me? Hey man, you weird niggas in my chat, man. Get the fuck out of here and talk about. Oh, got your opinion. Get your stupid ass out of here.
Chat, bro.
Why are you in here if you don't care? Get your Rudy Poo ass out of here and go buy some fucking tacos or something, bro. God damn. And then, Gray, you said does the illegal immigrants affect the Black community?
Yeah.
For damn sure. You see what happened in Chicago? You know what else happened? It happened in Oakland. You feel me? They kind of gentrified that shit. Happening in LA. Bro, they out here, and it's the cold part about it though, right? In the 60s, we fought for civil rights so they could bring their monkey ass over here, right? But then the goddamn president, Lulac, Felix, who gives a rat's ass about his last name, his specific quote was, "Let the Negroes fight their own battle." All right, we're gonna take a page out your book, Felix, along with goddamn bald and Nuri Martinez, who was a LA council member. She was actually the president of that shit. And she was out there like, fuck that guy. He with the blacks. Oh, okay. Alongside with Kevin DeLeon and all the rest of them motherfuckers, man. And look, shout out to Dewan B. I was listening to Bro broadcast earlier. Bro from LA. He talked about that council member right there took resources from the Black community in LA to redistribute it to the Hispanic community. Man, yeah, these motherfuckers undermining us. And they doing that while wagging their fucking finger while they stop saying essay and start saying nigga. I ain't heard a Mexican say essay during this protest. All they saying is nigga, nigga, nigga. And they called that black cop, and it was a bunch of white cops around, but they want to pinpoint bro out and be like, look at this nigga here, bro. You can't even come to Cava no more. Da 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 da. Well, damn it, you ain't gonna be coming to Cava either, because your ass gonna be back in Mexico and not the good part of Mexico like Rosarito and Rocky Point and shit. You gonna be in Tijuana. Shout out to Tijuana people. That is cool. But y'all know what's up, man. And yeah, that's a fucking insult to say that goddamn immigrants is gonna go along with the illegal immigration. No, y'all bringing the goddamn product down. Y'all bringing the price down with your monkey asses. Y'all out here taking jobs for $2.25 when them jobs should be paying like $15. Come on, man. Look, man, I ain't with it, man. I ain't with it. That's why I'm staying my ass at home. And I would have been eating some popcorn, but my stomach kind of hurt from hearing all the goddamn illegal immigrants saying that. Why you ain't with Black people, man? What the fuck is going on? Well, damn it. Talk to goddamn Felix in the 60s that said we need to fight our own battles when we was fighting for civil rights.
Okay, for sure.
Soundboard. Soundboard.
Huh?
It's in the soundboard like the fucking bomb going off.
Oh, the sound.
Yeah, host, where's the sounds?
Exactly.
Oh man, we don't have a bomb sound. I guess we couldn't find.
So, do you think the demographics of the voters not being immigrants, do you think it's going to turn off certain Republicans that they don't want to be a part of the Republican Party, or you just feel like the Republican Party is just going to grow and be dominant for years?
I think this is going to grow grow the Republican Party tenfold. Just look at the leadership in California because of what they're allowing to go on there. Like, you get it, like the Hispanic community in California is rioting and doing exactly what they're doing The funniest thing to me about this is I want to know what's the percentage of illegal migrants that are out there doing all this? That's what I really want to know. Because I can guarantee you it's probably not even 10% of the illegal migrants. This is all American citizens that are out there standing on fucking cars with the Mexican flag. If you love Mexico that bad, we'll put you back. We'll send you back. Like if you love it that bad, you want to turn fucking Rodeo Drive in fucking LA into fucking Sinaloa. If you really want to do that, you can go back. We don't want that here. And I'm sorry, like this is just disrespectful to the migrants who are actually trying to come here and make a good life for themselves. The ones who actually want to be here the correct way. This is just giving them a bad name. I don't think all these people are like that. No, at all. I think it's fucking disgusting what is going on there and what they're allowing to what the Democrats are allowing to do there. I think that's going to push a lot of voters across the nation, maybe not California really, but across the nation and say, okay, well, the Democrats are going to allow them to do this. Maybe we shouldn't align themselves with us because they want the worst of the worst on their side. That's exactly what I'm seeing.
What I think the reason the immigrants don't want the immigrants here, they want to assimilate to American culture. So they're like, I got to get rid of these people because they're going to make me look bad. So if I get rid of them, then the Americans just accept me and say I'm American. So those are the bad guys. We're good. Like we're the Americans. That's what I think when I saw that. But there's somebody in California that might be getting arrested. Y'all might have heard about him.
I mean, it's, again, sober and serious moment. Meanwhile, can I just add, and this is why I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on. If you need some head to scalp, do it with me, but stop messing with these kids. Stop messing with 4-year-olds, kids in elementary school. We've got kids. We have hundreds of graduations down here. Kids are not going to their own graduations. Families, grandparents here legally, mixed status families in some cases, scared to death to go to a graduation. People are scared to walk down the streets. It's not just Home Depots, getting their car washed. We have incidences. I didn't believe it because what was I thinking? I actually believed when they said this is not true. But then I saw videos. They're doing checkpoints, checking people's IDs. We've never seen this kind of deployment in so many actions. It's mass panic out here in the nation's largest county, in the nation's largest state. Good, hardworking people, decent people. These are not the criminals. These are not the thugs.
Mia, do you think Gavin Newsom's going to get arrested?
No, I don't think Gavin Newsom's going to get arrested, to be honest. I feel like that's just like sensational marketing or whatever. I don't think he's going to get arrested. I mean, I don't even know what charges they would bring up onto him, to be honest. Being a crappy person is not a chargeable offense, to my knowledge, or a lot more people would be in jail. So, I mean, I don't know what kind of charges they bring him up on. I don't think he's going to get arrested. I mean, if he pulls some stunt where he is impeding federal agents from arresting people, then that's a different story. Then he commits a crime. But I think as of right now, just him existing, running his little twitty fingers on X is going to get him arrested.
Enzo, do you feel like Gavin Newsom is right that what Trump is doing is abhorrent, or do you feel like it's necessary?
100% necessary. This needed to happen. Because if it didn't, LA would... Oh, so if Trump didn't step in with the wildfires, more than 25,000 homes would have been burned to the ground. And if he didn't put the National Guard in now, the 2-7s in LA, it would probably be burned to the ground too. I agree with what Donald Trump is doing, 110%. This needed to happen. And Gavin Newsom should be arrested for allowing his state to do this. The LAPD said they were outnumbered. They didn't have the manpower. They didn't have the capabilities to control this. What are you supposed to do at that point? Just sit back and watch and let American citizens just get harmed and be in harm's way? God forbid the National Guard didn't step in. Rioting and looting could have started really happening. That's exactly what I'm seeing. Like, it's bad right now, but it would have been 100 times worse if they were not there. So, fuck Gavin Newsom. I hope he gets arrested for treason at this point, and bring somebody who's actually capable in. Because I know plenty of people in California who talk shit about this guy. They tried to impeach him in 2020, from what I just heard, and they still reelected him. What is wrong with you people there?
Well, you know what's,
Go
well,
ahead, Mila.
sorry, I was gonna say, you know what's like, you know what's absolute in my mind, what's like absolutely crazy is everybody knew this was coming. This is not new. The second that Donald Trump got elected, everybody knew that this was going to happen. I mean, in the history of the United States, when has the federal government said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 and a free ticket home if you go home? These people have had more than enough time to figure out what they want to do, whether they want to file the paperwork, whether they want to like go home on their own, take the money from the feds. I mean, these people have known exactly what's going to happen. Why are they acting so surprised when they're doing stops or they're going X, Y, and Z and they are executing federal warrants in these places? This isn't anything new. Like, people just are acting like we didn't have a fucking election in November. Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
We're literally paying you to leave. I'd be like, all right, homie, $1,000 in an impoverished second and third world country, bro, I'm gone. And a free ride home to see my shit, I'm gone. It's warm down there. It's cold where I live. I'd be ready to go. I'd be packing my bags going back to paradise.
Tell them. They tell us that they send Italians back to Italy. I'm on the first fucking flight. What's up? I'm cool with that.
Kamal, you live in California. Is Gavin Newsom a good governor?
Hell no, I ain't no good governor. And that motherfucker, yeah, he is charged with having the same hairstyle as Reverend Sharpton. If you a white man with a conch, you need to be in jail. I'm sorry. You can't have a conch have the same hairstyle as Reverend Sharpton and be respected. You feel me? And like, this is my thing when it comes to Gavin Newsom, man. Like, just quit politics and go into Hollywood, bro, because that's what you really want to do. He want to be an actor. That's what he really wants to do. So, hey, man, do that shit. And also, a lot of reason why these illegal immigrants ain't going back to their home country, because they go back to their home country, they got a whole heap of trouble over there, man. They running away from doing crime. They running away from the shit that they got involved with over there, where they homies at home is like, yeah, bring your ass back over here and see what happened. That's why they not going over there. Because, yeah, you would think if you get a thou wow and you go to a third world country, if you know what you're doing, you're going to be booming. But they ain't doing that shit. They want to stay here and wave the Mexican flag while stomping on cars, destroying their own shit. Well, go ahead. Keep destroying your own shit. I give a rat's ass. Hey, my Black American people, bro, they can't deport us. They keep trying to say, hey, man, you got to be out here because they can deport you too. How? That ain't no goddamn sense. God damn, man. Yeah. And Gavin Newsom, man, bro, if y'all really look at, bro, you can't trust somebody that look like Jafar. Y'all know who Jafar is?
Who's Jafar? Aladdin?
Bro.
Yes,
the bad guy. Look at yeah. Got the same
Stop.
long face and everything. You can't trust somebody that look like Jafar. Just saying.
Well, they said that they need 17K. They said the average 17K per immigrant to go back home to survive. That's what they said.
Who said that? The immigrants? The illegal
I read an article. That's what I read.
That's not the quote. The fact is 17K per person to deport them. So that's why they're saying we're giving them 1,000 to deport. But I'll wait to.
Well, yeah, they said they need more money than 1K. But go ahead, Nora. What were you going to say?
So let me clarify. So 17K is the cost to deport per person. So in lieu of that, that's why they're offering 1,000. You have influencers like Kaizen out here telling the U.S. government we should be offering 5,000 for these people to go through. I don't think they would even leave for 5,000. So let me say this. As a child of immigrants, as somebody from a third world country, my family, it is rough in those countries. So I do sympathize. But for that reason, you should be showing up to your court dates. For that reason, you should be compliant. You hear a lot of these people, they go out, they commit these crimes against Americans, they get picked up, they were already deported, and or they had multiple chances to be compliant with the United States ICE, and they chose not to show up to court. Whose fault is that? Number one. Number two, they are looting right now. They're looting CVS. They're looting Adidas. They're looting the Apple Store. What does that have to do with ICE and the immigration? They have been destroying property. They destroyed Kobe Bryant's mural, who was a foundationally Black American. They've been destroying property. They've been destroying cars, thousands of millions of dollars worth of damage. But that has to do with immigrants, right? All because they're angry that the United States decided to come show up to churches or graduations. The fact that these people think that they don't have to comply and that they don't have to be a part of the system is a problem to me. And again, it goes back to supremacy. They think they're better than American citizens. They think that they are better than our government. They think that they're better than our law enforcement. And again, I stand by law and order. The fact of the matter is, you need to be compliant. If you're not, you need to go. I mean, I do empathize with these people, but also, lastly, I'll say this. We have a very broken immigration system. The immigration system needs reform. There needs to be something in place to fix the system. There needs to be something in place to help the people that have been here to get citizenship. And I will say that we do have a broken system.
Gavin Newsom 2028. But since we're talking about, what's going on with the deportation and all the protests, and nor want to go through all the numbers, let's see the big number of how much everything is costing.
Express my severe concern with the deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles without consultation of the state of California. There have been photographs that have shown these troops sleeping on the floor and have not been provided fuel, food, or water by DOD. How long will this deployment last, and why were we unprepared to provide them basic necessities such as food and water?
The commanders and troops on the field are very well prepared, sir. They responded incredibly rapidly to a deteriorating situation with equipment and capabilities. We have made sure from the top down, as a Secretary of Defense who's been in a unit holding riot shields outside the White House during the chaos of the summer of 2020. I know what it's like to be immediately deployed into a situation like that. There are moments where you make do as best you can temporarily, but we are ensuring they're housed, fed, water capabilities in real time from my office, because I care that much about the California Guard and the Marines and the men and women who are supporting our ICE agents on the ground.
You should check
it's
with your
true
office.
Every day, and that's a disingenuous attack that misrepresents how much we care about our troops and what they're doing to defend ICE agents. I'm not going to take the fact that we don't care about the troops. Nobody cares more about the troops at the top than this secretary and the chairman and our department.
How long will the deployment last?
We stated very publicly that it's 60 days. Because we want to ensure that those rioters, looters, and thugs on the other side assaulting our police officers know that we're not going anywhere. We're here to maintain the peace on behalf of law enforcement officers in Los Angeles, which Gavin Newsom won't do.
What is the estimated cost of the deployment for the Guard and the Marines to LA, and where's this funding coming from? Will it be coming from quality of life programs that affect our service members or our families? If you want to wait till I finish
Before I hand it to
such as updates, housing and barracks.
Before I hand it to Bryn, the insinuation that we're pulling money from housing and barracks in order to fund this is disingenuous and incorrect.
I'm just asking.
Bryn can give you the numbers, absolutely.
So the current estimated cost is $134 million, which is largely just TDY costs, travel, housing, food, etc.
Where's it coming from? That's the cost, but where's it coming from?
Their O&M accounts.
With the most recent deployment of the Marines, Mr. Secretary, what's the justification for using the military for civilian law enforcement purposes in LA? Why are you sending war fighters to cities to interact with civilians?
Every American citizen deserves to live in a community that's safe, and ICE agents need to be able to do their job. They're being attacked for doing their job, which is deporting illegal criminals. That should happen in any city, Minneapolis or Los Angeles. And if they're attacked, That's lawless, and President Trump believes in law and order. So he has every authority, and he has done mobilizing National Guard or active duty troops under U.S. code to protect federal agents in their job, which is exactly what we're doing, and we're proud to do it. We're proud to do it.
10 U.S.C. of the U.S. Code 12406 as a legal basis that the president used cites 3 examples and circumstances for the Guard: invasion by a foreign nation, rebellion or dangerous rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States, or the president is unable with regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. Which authority is triggered here to justify the use?
I don't know. You just read it yourself, and people can listen themselves, but it sounds like all 3 to me. If you've got millions of illegals and you don't know where they're coming from, they're waving flags from foreign countries and assaulting police officers and law enforcement officers, that's a problem.
The laws of the United States?
No, the governor of California is unable to execute the laws of the United States. The governor of the California has failed to protect his people, along with the mayor of Los Angeles, and so President Trump has said he will protect our agents, and our Guard and Marines are proud to do it.
The law also says, Mr. Secretary, that the orders for these purposes shall be issued through governors of the states.
You and I both know that President Trump has all the authorities necessary, and thankfully he's willing to do it on behalf of the citizens of Los Angeles, on behalf of our ICE agents, and behalf of our country.
We've also pulled $1 billion for the border as well. So this just goes into the same fund, 134. What did
Congressman, what's the
134 million? I was asking Ms. McDonald.
Okay.
134 million goes on top of the billion that's been pulled for the
So
border.
the funding that was pulled for this year was largely in FSRM, and in this budget, we're actually looking to plus that funding back up to backfill that for our troops and for their families.
So the price tag of that is 192 million for this. Currently, we have American troops sleeping in warehouses with no water, no food, who are in the National Guard. And so it looks like this is going to cost a lot of money. And it looks like the soldiers aren't, being well taken care of. And also looks like Trump violated the Constitution. So, Nora, I see you making faces over there. What is your take on what Pete Hegseth said?
Let me say this. Since President Trump has sent in the Marines, the National Guard, the local law enforcement are now able to do their job. They've arrested over 140 people today alone. Just today alone. That's more than all the days combined. So I support President Trump in sending in the military. If there's lawlessness in the street, if there's danger to federal workers like the ICE agents, he has a duty and an obligation to protect them. And also, let me tell you, California is like a microcosm for the rest of the nation. What happens in California by the left, they then follow it nationwide. So June 14th on Saturday, there are protests coming all over the country. He has to make an example out of them, because if he does not, you are going to see California in New York City, in Houston, in Dallas, even here in Tampa, Florida, all over the nation. And he has to put his foot down and say, no lawlessness, we ain't having this, and there will be law and order. So I support whatever they're doing operationally, militarily.
And so I see you shaking your head, yeah, so you agree with Nora?
100%. Because the funny thing was today, so my job, we do a lot of stuff, like a lot of government contracts and everything. I was at the New Jersey National Guard Armory today, which typically there's not usually National Guardsmen there. Hacked. For some reason. I was trying to ask around, like the project managers, of what this was about. And then that's when I found out about the whole No Kings organization website that they have going on. I'm going to the one in Bryant Square on Saturday. I want to get some footage. I want to know what the fuck's going on. Like, I got my shit ready. I just ordered the fucking press.
Don't wear your hat.
Velcro. Oh, no, I'm not. Like, I got I have a fucking vest myself. I'm gonna be wearing that with the press shit right across the fucking front of it while I'm there the entire time, because I don't know what's gonna happen. It's New York, so you never know. But I agree 100% that this needed to be done. He didn't violate the Constitution by activating the National Guard or putting the Marines there. Like I said last night, it's under Title 10 authority, specifically 10 USC section 12406, to activate the National Guard and deploy them to Los Angeles in response to the protest over federal immigration enforcement. The section allows the president to federalize the National Guard of any state as he considers necessary to repel an invasion, suppress a rebellion, or execute the law, which law enforcement is not able to do that there. So Gavin Newsom's going to have a fucking rude awakening when that shit goes to the courts, because he's going to lose royally.
Mia, as a child of a veteran, how do you feel about the condition that the troops are in?
I think it's terrible. I think it's abhorrent. I think if we're going to activate any sort of military response, we need to be prepared for said military response. I understand Pete Hegseth when he talks about needing to respond immediately, and obviously when you need to respond now. Obviously, some things fall through the cracks or whatever when you need to get to a place as soon as possible or as fast as possible. I mean, I've worked on an ambulance. I absolutely understand that. When you need to get there, you need to get there. And you do what you do with what you have in the area. I absolutely understand that. So I think at this point in time, we just have to kind of wait and see. Newsom and the Secretary of State for California filed paperwork, filed a lawsuit in the federal courts today in California. So obviously we'll kind of see what the Californian federal court system says about if Donald Trump overreached. But I mean, at this point in time, with all of the footage and all of the presentations, plus all of the arrests today alone, I mean, one could say he wasn't really, he did the right thing. I'm sorry, but it's kind of one of those things where he was elected because of this kind of response. This is the response that over 80 million Americans expect. This is the response. We are sick and tired of billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of burning down our own neighborhoods. A lot of people are, for starters, California, for so much money they spend on education, they're the stupidest people I've ever met. So they are hurting franchise owners. Franchise owners isn't corporate. Corporate doesn't give a shit. They are hurting their own cousins, their families. You're burning down bodegas that have been in families for 20, 30, 40 years. You're literally hurting your own communities. We're watching in real time as these people are destroying their neighbors' cars in their own communities. Like, I don't understand. You're looting these places, you're burning these buildings down, you're burning these cars, you're making your own community look like trash over what? Over what? Riddle me that. That's crazy. That's wild work.
Kamal, so for you, like, it needed to be done. Does it matter if Trump violated the Constitution or not? How do you feel about it?
First off, I'm from California, y'all. So we not all stupid. Okay.
Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Just the ones that are outside.
Everybody but Kamal.
I'll fuck with y'all. Second of all, you should play that. Show that comment from Brooke. There. Boom. There it goes. Right there. Boom. That's my answer. Is really Trump breaking the Constitution if the California politicians are doing treason? I don't know. I know one thing though. June 14th would be I'm staying my ass at home day. They're doing a national protest on Flag Day. Okay, well, good luck.
This is why I'm the crazy white boy. I go do the crazy shit.
You go out there and do the press, okay?
Yep. I will be out there. Me and my cousins. We ready.
Yeah, but hey, is there like video footage of the troops not being handled well with care?
I've seen it.
Like, is there
the pictures that they posted are from 2021. They were fact checked. Harry is the one that posted it and got his ass handed to him in his own video because they reversed image searched it. It's from Kabul airport in Afghanistan from 2021.
So there's no videos or
wait, and who was president in 2021?
Uh-oh.
Okay, my point.
I've seen footage. I mean, I didn't know what Izzo just said, but I've seen footage of them laying in the warehouse. You know,
I haven't seen any of that.
We got to play that. Gray, you got that? Put that up there.
I'll pull it up, but first I'll play this because Nora is right. It is happening in Florida now.
So there's
and this is right down the street from me, basically.
Yikes.
There's no misunderstanding today.
Oh, I love him. I want to move to Florida just to hang out with him.
It's a peaceful protest. This is a riot. We can tell the difference. The governor
He
can
said
tell the
shit
difference.
California.
Our law enforcement officers can tell the difference. In the event you didn't get that, let me show you something. This is a peaceful protest. This is looting. If you loot, the next thing you can try to steal is something off of your food tray at the county jail, because you're going to jail. That's a guarantee. And we're going to enjoy taking you down there.
Yeah, so it's spreading to Tampa, and it's spreading all over. So, Mia, you're the conspiracy theorist. Is this a conspiracy that this is being done, or is this just naturally happening?
I don't think this is I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think this is honestly naturally happening. A lot of people don't quite understand how Congress works. So we have our census every 10 years, correct? And when it comes to the census, it doesn't matter. They don't count only citizens. They count everybody, literally every single body. So we divvy out representatives based on population. So there, and then from that population and those representatives, we divvy out electoral votes as well. So at this point in time, people are waking up to the fact that when you let 20 million people in over the course of 20 years and you influx them into, say, Florida, into California, and into New York, you disproportionately give these areas electoral college votes that they normally would not have, but you also pump them full of extra congressional representatives that they shouldn't have. So we are fixing the status quo from what the Biden administration did. They let in estimated of 5 million people, and that's a lot of bodies in there. And we are fixing the status quo. So it is not a conspiracy. It is everybody actually waking up to the simple fact that it's not fair, and we're going to try and fix it.
Nora, you're a Floridian. Are you scared? I know you like real scary. So do you feel like
Real scary. First of all, Florida is where woke goes to die. Shouts out to Governor DeSantis. He won by 15 points. It was not even a race. It was like a massacre. But this is the thing. I do think it's a conspiracy. I think it's funded by certain Democrats like George Soros. They want chaos. Did y'all see the picture of Kamala Harris, the new logo she has? She's making a play. They're pushing her. They're trying to run Trump out. There's a lot of conspiracies going on. And first of all, they're paying some of these protesters. They're paying organizers for these protests. You can look it up online. There are literally Craigslist ads where they're paying these people. So it is a conspiracy. They want chaos. They want mayhem. They want a civil war. That's what I think. They want us all against each other. We have never been more divided in this country. And I blame both sides to some extent. But for me, I blame the left more because it benefits them more for us to be divided at this point.
Enzo, is it George Soros? Is he behind all of this?
Yeah, I literally have George Soros's payoffs to Gavin Newsom. I got to send them over to you guys. Literally, somebody sent me this. Holy shit, it's true. Gavin Newsom is funded by George and Alex Soros. No wonder he wants to our Los Angeles destroyed. I think this is just perfect because, what was circulating around, I think it was last year or even before the wildfire started was that smart city shit that they wanted. This is cheap demolition, wildfires, and rioting. Because what's going to happen when all these businesses and all these people's lives get destroyed and they got to file bankruptcy because they can't open their stores again? Yeah, the city will come along with a bulldozer. Boom. Hey, look, more room to build this smart city that Gavin Newsom and the fucking Democrats, aka George Soros, and them have been fucking pushing. Like you guys said before, for a bunch of people that are in the. So my question is, for the most educated people, because Democratic states are supposedly the most educated, why does all this shit happen in your states? Let's look at the last 5 years. Yeah, let's look at the last 5 years. Where did all these riots happen? Democratic states. You didn't hear this happening in Florida. You didn't hear this happen in Texas. You didn't hear this happen in Oklahoma. Make that make sense. But all this destruction happens in Democratic states.
Kamal, are you a conspiracy theorist?
I don't know, but damn it, the tinfoil kufi is on Powerful tonight. God damn. Hey, Enzo, you got me thinking on some shit now. I'm like, damn, got the tinfoil on thick. Even Jagger in the chat is like the tinfoil hat channel. I mean, damn. I mean, hey, I mean, I wouldn't put it past it though. Enzo brought up a great point because y'all know that they already got developers already buying out up like land and real estate off the fires. Like they're already doing that
Up
shit.
in Hawaii too.
Like that shit is wild as hell. You feel me? Like if you really think about it though, a lot of conspiracy come true after time. Think about it. Just give shit time and then be like, it becomes a conspiracy to truth. So I can't put it past it, man. Like, you know, the world we live in, you know what I mean? Sometimes it could be diabolical. So I could kind of see that. That shit wild, man. Damn.
Me are the only one I feel like stick to every conspiracy theory. The rest of them, they'll go back and forth, but me is like conspiracy theory all the way. Maybe
for sure. Is it a conspiracy? It's not a conspiracy when it's true. I'm like 9 for 9 this year alone. I feel like every time I hit the group chat,
You're
I'm
3
like
for
9
4
for
since
9.
I showed up.
Literally, I'm like 9 for 9 this year. I'm like, I'm calling it now, and then all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, it happens. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not a conspiracy if it's true.
But it is happening in red states, and it's actually happening in Texas.
Any of these cases. In fact, Homeland Security Secretary tonight on Fox saying they're going to arrest and charge protesters who are assaulting officers. So this is happening in real time, and it is the clash also, Caitlin, of immigration and law and order, two of the main issues of President Trump, all coalescing in this moment as people protest the methods of this administration.
And I also want to show what's happening in Austin. This is what's happening in Dallas. We also have similar scenes that are playing out, protests that are underway in Austin right now. Elliot, when you look at what's happening in Dallas there, I want to go back to that image that we were just showing. Obviously, things seem to be heating up there as you're looking at this scene right now in Dallas where they are clashing with the officers. A lot of people are looking at this, and what I asked to Tom Homan was, is this going to be the new normal going forward in terms of more National Guard being deployed to other cities as well?
Well, and it all depends, quite frankly, Caitlin, on what happens with the legal challenges to this implementation of the National Guard. Now, look, there are circumstances where the president can federalize National Guard. Now, there are obviously...
I think it's basically like where predominantly Hispanic people are. Enzo, do you feel like it's going to make it to New York? Or you feel like it's just going to stay to the west and to the south?
I'll be surprised if it actually happens like how it's happening in Dallas, like you just showed, and especially in California. I don't think it's going to happen like that in New York. Because you're going to have the real New Yorkers stop that shit before the NYPD does. One thing about New Yorkers, they stick together no matter what the fuck is going on. Like even with the riots in 2020, that shit happened for like maybe like 3 hours. And then everybody just stepped in and like, all right, that's fucking enough. That's one thing I'll say about them. So who knows what's going to happen on Saturday, for example, with the whole Flag Day and this nationwide protest that is funded by the Democrats. Oh, you go to the website, you look at the donors. Most of them are Democratic donors too.
Mia, are they going to be having some protests in New Hampshire?
Honestly, probably not. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. There's like, you know, there's old like white retirees that are always out there picketing. Screw Trump. I'm like, that's hilarious because you've already made your money. You've already done the trickle down on economics. You've already screwed the rest of us. It's really rich to sit there and say that. I mean, probably not. I'd be shocked to see anything happen. We're considered a purple state, so we're a really good blend of both in this state. So I'm right now we're a majority Republican, including our governor, and like our internal politics are all majority Republican. So I highly doubt it. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Kamal, you think it's gonna be everywhere?
Oh man, bro, you crack me up. Love it. First of all, I gotta do this. Shout out to my foundational Black Americans, man. I didn't see y'all in none of them motherfucking videos. Yes. I'm glad y'all are staying y'all asses at home. Stay your ass at home. Yes. Woo! Yes, you feel me? Second of all, I don't think New York going to protest like that, and if they do, they doing it for clout because most of the Hispanic people over there is like Puerto Rican and shit. Then Puerto Ricans don't give a fuck about Mexicans.
No, dude, no, not at all, bro.
Exactly. All the protesters was Mexican flags, and let's be real, man. Most of the Mexicans probably voted for Trump and shit, and was like, "Hey, bro, get my cousin the fuck out of here, man. He ain't working like I thought he was gonna do." You feel me? Yeah, they all buddy in the face. They're like, "Hey, Trump, get him the fuck out of here, man." And you see what the type of one it's the degenerates. The degenerates is out there protesting. You feel me? Like, so that's just how I feel. It's just I feel it's not only just Hispanic communities, it's heavily Mexican communities that's protesting like that. You feel me? And look, man, I'm telling you, a lot of the Mexicans out here, I'm telling you, my Mexican neighbors, they don't give a fuck. They out here barbecuing and shit. They just like, you know what? Hey, if you here illegally, I don't know what to say. Mm-hmm. Telling you. Telling you. Hey, just saying.
Nora, I want to play a clip specifically for you since you brought up it being in Tampa. This is the one in Tampa.
We want justice, you say how? Mexico, go back to Mexico.
Go back to Mexico. I love that guy. You don't care. Go back to Mexico.
Go back to Mexico.
Calm down, Kyle.
Yeah, and you're fat.
Man, I'm dead.
The ice rage now.
So this is Tampa City Hall. This is about 30 minutes away from me. So it's getting crazy already. I've been in the political stuff. I've been in a few protests, but it's never been this crazy. Nora, you're a Floridian. You talked about driving by stuff. How do you feel about, it being in Florida? Do you feel like you're going to run into it, or are you going to go out and protest?
No, because Governor DeSantis is very clear. We don't play that here. You protest, you taking your ass to jail. You shut down a highway, we shutting you down. Okay, we don't play that here. He's made it very clear. He's made it abundantly clear that that doesn't fly here. However, I don't agree with you guys saying that these protests aren't going to get wild in other places because they're already building up. I mean, Texas, Chicago. There was a guy that drove through a crowd in Chicago today. So it's already ramping up. And the Democrats have been gearing up for having a crazy June now for months. For months, I've been hearing it's going to be a crazy June because they know it's Trump's birthday and they want to prove a point. So I do think it's going to be a wild weekend. I think we're just seeing the beginning.
You know what? I think the Democrats had a huge miscalculation. I think the Democrats thought that Black Americans, foundationally Black Americans, were going to come in and be the forefront of this movement. And I think they realized as foundational Black Americans.
Nora Izzo got attacked. I don't know who y'all ticked off, but
yes, please take me with you, and I'll have my Karen shirt on too. I will gladly be there, gladly. And why don't you come and join me while you're at it?
This is Make America Great Again, not Make America Mexico Again. Okay? Yeah.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. Why the fuck is all the weirdos in my chat? Shout out to Daryl and Brooke and Kiwi, but the rest of y'all in my goddamn chat say what?
I'm gonna double down.
Like, bro, what's going on? Like this shit. Wow, they coming into my chat, crazy. Hey, y'all proving our point right now. Y'all proving why y'all coming to the foundational Black American chat talking about us fighting and being on side with the protesting and shit.
Yeah, we're not gonna be on
other chats. God damn.
I've seen so many videos, specifically very large foundational Black content creators, specifically women, saying to stay home. Like, we are staying home. We're not in this. We don't have a dog in this fight. Because every time I speak to a Hispanic person, specifically a Mexican, the first thing they say is, this used to be Mexico, blah, 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 blah. I'm native. Well, get the fuck out of here, bitch. I see what you trying to insinuate, that we don't, Black Americans don't belong here. I'm sorry you lost. It sucks to lose. But, I mean, they got a good deal, bro. You lost the war. Okay, I get it. But the United States government still paid them $15 million in 1848, bro. $15 million in cash money in 1848 for all that land? Come on. Come on. Take the L. You got the money. You still got to be here. Like, what's the big deal? And they're all bitter and salty at the rest of us because we don't want to be their punching bags. It's like, no, you can do this at home.
For sure, for sure. Kamal, what's your closing thoughts? Am I a better host than Nora?
Hey, you was doing your thing, man. You feel me? We gotta get your soundboard together, though, bro. We gotta get the dun 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 shit like that, bro.
Yeah, you need that.
But you was doing your thing, bro. You feel me? Y'all neck and neck. Nora might be a little bit better though. She do the push a little bit more seamless. But Gray, you doing your thing, bro.
Let's go.
But anyway, I'll say what I appreciate it, bro. Damn, he said a great show. All right, appreciate you. I don't know if you're a man or a woman though, but appreciate you. You feel me? Even though you was kind of talking shit. But shout out to the chat. You feel me? On Foundational Black Americans, from Daryl to Brooke to Kiwi. You feel me? Mia. You know what I mean? Shout out to the panel. We always have a great show, filled with laughter and knowledge. You feel me? Also, another thing, I'm so proud of my Black American people. Oh, I'm damn near about to shed a Van Jones tear. Oh my God, to not see y'all in the videos out there protesting. Oh, it was great. Stay your ass at home. We are listening to Felix, president of LULAC in the 60s when we were fighting for civil rights. He was like, let the Negro fight his own battle. Well, we gonna let y'all fight your own battle, especially since y'all say we don't know how to fight anyway. Y'all say we don't know what the fuck to do. We don't know what we doing. Blasey, blasey, blasey. Okay, well, we gonna stay our ass at home. Get the popcorn. Hell, look, I don't promote drinking soda, but damn it, get some Sprite, Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola. Sit back, kick back, and watch what the hell happened. You feel me? Second of all, what I also wanted to say is, why they ain't calling out like other groups to go out there and protest with them? I don't hear them talk about Asians. They not one time said, hey, my Asian brethren in Cali, come out here and help us out. We need you. What about the Indian motherfuckers that y'all be putting on a pedestal and shit? Why y'all ain't telling them come help you protest? Y'all telling us to help you protest. Okay. You feel me? And then the last thing I want to say is that you feel me? I know some of the people in Cali, you know what I mean, they fucking up, you feel me? But you got some of us people out here in Cali, especially the Foundational Black Americans out here in Cali, that we holding it down. All right? We holding it down out here. We making sure things is proper. And all I see is a lot of goddamn Mexican flags, and they burning an American flag, and I'm just confused because if y'all got the Mexican pride like that, y'all could cross over the border easily. I done it plenty of times when I went to TJ and Rocky Point. It's easy to go back fucking over there. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. All right? And stop saying fucking immigrants. We're talking about illegal immigrants. Key difference. Illegal. Y'all think we having a problem with immigrants? Nah, we having a problem with illegal immigrants, man. Y'all gotta get out of here, bro. Especially y'all wagging a goddamn finger, man. God damn. Anyway.
Hatman, what's your closing thoughts?
This is my new name is Sherlock MAGA. Thanks to King in the chat. Closing thoughts. Like I keep saying, it's always a great time on the podcast. Every episode just gets better and better and better. Kamal, you had me cracking up the entire time. I was trying to be serious and trying to crash out because of this shit going on, but I can't, bro. This turned into a comedy show with you, between you going out to the comments and then the shit you say about this, bro. Dude, bow down to you. You're fucking hilarious. But exactly like Kamal said, we have a problem with illegal immigrants who are giving a bad name to all this shit going on. Leave. You have so much Mexican pride. Go home. Go do that there. That's all I gotta say.
Mia, your closing thoughts?
If Mexico is so great and you will burn the American flag, you will spit on it, and you will destroy entire communities that you live in, I think you should go back to Mexico. Clearly, Mexico is not that bad. I don't know why half you people are here. Clearly, Mexico is not that bad. You send all your money over there. You're visiting over there constantly. Clearly, it's not as bad as you guys make it seem. And maybe you should go back over there. I think at this point in time, it's a little bit ridiculous. Everybody knew what was going to happen. Donald Trump was elected president back in November, and everybody knew this is exactly what the United States citizens want. And I specifically said citizens. If you have an issue with the law, try to change it. If not, follow the law or get the fuck out. I feel like it's that simple.
For sure. Or I did your job better than you. What's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts is this. Everybody asked me, you voted for Trump. Did you think he was going to do this? Is this what you voted for? Yes and no. This is exactly what I voted for. In fact, I don't think he's doing it enough. I don't think the numbers that he's deporting is enough. Obama was surely the deporter in chief. But Trump, I need you to be number 2 or be number 1. You're not doing it enough. Let me be clear. Also, shouts out to Latinos for Trump. The fact that you guys are turning on Trump saying, bro, you know what you voted for. Don't act like you didn't know. And also, shout out to the chat. Today I got the Amazon wave. Thank you, Trump. We didn't get the tariffs. Remember, they were scaring us with the tariffs. This is all fear mongering being done by the Democrats because they lost so terribly. Wake up, guys. People are not getting deported and raided at graduations. It's a lie. It may have happened once or twice, and the numbers don't lie. They only rounded up 118 people. We're doing this over 118 people. They arrested more people at those damn protests than they did for the people that they raided in those that they rounded up in those supported raids. This is all fear mongering. Wake up. Don't fall for it. Don't believe it. America is going to be great. We're in the golden age. And that's my closing thoughts.
For sure. My closing thoughts is, yeah, you're not going to get anything with violence. So it's better to take the high road. So basically what I would say to Democrats is just, we can admit when something's wrong. Violence and destruction is not the answer. And you see, when I'm the host, I play both sides.
That's not true. I play both sides too.
So that's all I'm saying. That's what the new party is all about, because I know, and we're trying to get more left-wing people here and make it much more interesting for you guys.
Okay.
But we're going to keep following this story with you guys. And like we always say on a new party, always vote.
Hi guys, the New Party Podcast is doing a fundraiser. Help us cover the Diddy trial. We need your help. We're raising $2,000 to send the New Party Podcast team to cover the Sean Diddy closed trial in person during the last week of June. Our goal is to provide fair, independent, and uncensored coverage of one of the most talked about cases in entertainment and justice today. We believe the media is not always getting it right. And that's why we're committed to telling the full story without bias through interviews, daily updates, and live reports straight from the courthouse. If you believe in free press, accountability, and real journalism, support our trip and help us bring this coverage to the people. Link below. Please support. Any amount helps. And we know you guys got our back like we got yours. Thank you.